Welcome to Introduction to Christian Ethics, a summer intensive course. My name is Dr. Randall Miller, and I'll be your instructor for the next 3 weeks. My full bio is available on the Moodle page for this course, but in brief, I've worked for the past 25 years in the nonprofit sector in the San Francisco Bay Area, including advocacy, religious, philanthropic, and yes, even with academic organizations. Speaking of which, from 2010 to 2015, I served as Pacific School of Religion's Assistant Professor of Ethics and am now a consultant in private practice, hoping to apply everything I learned and everything I taught over the years to helping organizations who want to change the world for the better. And for the next 3 weeks, I'll be your instructor and guide as we explore various themes, concepts, and issues within Christian ethics. If you've never taken a summer intensive course before, or even if you have, I think I can safely promise you that you will be in for quite the adventure. So if you're still up for this, strap on your walking shoes and let's get started. Oh, and by the way, this is high allergy season in Northern California, so please forgive my current congestion and touch of laryngitis. This too will pass. Ready, set, go. This presentation is meant to provide a brief overview of the course format, outcomes, and activities. It also includes some helpful tips for how to survive a summer intensive course. So let's begin our overview with just a few observations about the course format. Note first that this course has been designed as an alternative to the regular semester-long version of Introduction to Christian Ethics. While there really is no substitute for the normal 15 or 16-week course of study, this online class will provide a basic walkthrough of some of the most important concepts and tools used in Christian ethics. Second, you'll already have noticed that I have repeatedly referred to this class as a summer intensive. This is my way of alerting you that we will be covering a lot of material at a fairly rapid pace. The runners in the class might think of this as a strange cross between a marathon and a sprint. Have no fear, however. At the end of this presentation, I'll be providing some helpful tips on how to survive and even thrive during this 3-week sprintathon through Christian ethics. Hopefully, you've also realized by now that this class is both online and asynchronous, or you may be in a bit of trouble already. Online simply refers to the fact that the course will be taught using web-based platforms like Moodle and Zoom. So if you have any trouble using either of these platforms, let us know immediately so that we can get you the right kind of technical assistance. Asynchronous means that unlike a brick and mortar classroom, there will be no point over the next 3 weeks when everyone in the class will be in the same place at the same time. Instead, you'll spend most of your time by yourself, reviewing class lectures, working your way through class readings, and completing other class assignments. Online courses are becoming more and more popular at many schools, precisely because they allow class participants more control of their own schedules and lots more flexibility than regular in-person courses. The trade-off, however, is that there are also fewer people around to cheer you on and/or remind you to complete your work on time. This means that participants have to exert more self-discipline and self-management than in a regular class setting. The start of a good self-discipline and self-management regimen that will see you through the next 3 weeks is to develop your own schedule for when and how you will complete the course requirements, including finding a quiet, consistent place that you can sneak off to for at least 4 hours per day to get your classwork done. See what I mean about this being a summer intensive course? 4 hours is a lot of study and reading. Now, let's move on to the expected course outcomes or learning goals for this class. These outcomes spell out specifically what we hope you'll take with you when you've completed this course. I'll pause for just a few seconds and give you a chance to read the course outcomes printed on the screen in front of you. One key difference between the full semester course and the 3-week intensive is that class participants don't have the time to allow all of the ideas and concepts to sink in and germinate in the way that we hope they will over a longer period of time. So be sure to take good notes and save your course texts to refer back to in your chosen ministry, leadership position, or other nonprofit setting. I'm guessing that you already know that doing ethics well is a lifetime pursuit and not just the subject of one class. This next slide covers the specific activities incorporated into this course. On a typical day, you will view a 45 to 60-minute pre-recorded online lecture, read the assigned class text, including readings in your course text and additional articles posted on Moodle, and complete a daily online review or quiz, meant to ensure that you are understanding course materials and keeping up with your other assignments. Additionally, on a weekly basis, you will also take part in a small group discussion over Zoom, a web-based meeting app, and prepare 3 short 3-page reflection papers to submit on specific dates throughout the 3-week course. I want to pause for just a few minutes to say a little bit more about the 3 types of assignments that will comprise your final grade for this class. These include the daily quizzes, which are worth 40% of your grade, the small group colloquies that are worth 15% of your grade, and the 3 brief reflection papers that are worth 45% of your total grade, or 15% each. As indicated on the previous slide, the cumulative grade for the daily open book quizzes is worth 40% of your total course grade. So you'll want to be sure to give these quizzes the time and attention they deserve. It may be a bit confusing when you first think about it, but your cumulative quiz grade will be based on the total number of quizzes that you submit with a passing grade of 60% or higher. Think of this way of coming up with your cumulative daily quiz grade as a way to incentivize you to keep reading and learning. The more work you put in, the greater the reward. Basically, as the chart in front of you depicts, the more quizzes you submit with a passing grade of 60% or more, the higher your cumulative quiz grade will be. Thus, for example, to achieve an A, you will need to submit at least 14 of the 15 available online quizzes and receive a passing grade on each one of those 14 quizzes. Conversely, the minimum number of daily quizzes that you can submit and still get a passing grade of D for your cumulative quiz grade is 8. Let's turn now to the description of the small group colloquies. The only time when a portion of class participants will come together at the same time is during your chosen colloquy session. Indeed, colloquy is simply a fancy way for saying a small group meeting. Why not just use small group meeting, you might ask? Because the whole academic system would come tumbling down if all of us switched to monosyllabic words. Do you really want that kind of responsibility on your shoulders? No? Then colloquy it is. But seriously, The small group meeting or colloquy session will be led by yours truly, take place at the end of each week, and provide an opportunity to ask questions about the lectures or course readings and or discuss other important questions and issues in ethics. You must attend all 3 of the scheduled colloquy sessions that you select to get a passing grade for this portion of the course. And if at all possible, we ask that you participate in the same colloquy session each week rather than changing from one session to another. The schedule for the colloquy sessions can be found both in your syllabus and posted on Moodle. By the first day of class, that's June 4th, I would like you to send me your first and second choices for colloquy session times. Unfortunately, a colloquy session won't work with less than 3 people in it, excluding me as the professor. But we'll definitely try to accommodate everyone's first or second choices. Please prepare to be a bit flexible, as potentially we have students from across the U.S. and need to make sure that everyone fits into a colloquy session that doesn't have them up at midnight. Thanks for your patience on this. "45% of your cumulative grade for the course will be based on 3 brief reflection papers that you are required to submit. The first reflection paper consists of a short moral autobiography where you trace your own moral and ethical development. This is only a 3-page paper, so it cannot be your full life story. The second paper requires you to interview someone outside of your family about their moral and ethical beliefs and how they arrived at their conception of social justice. The final reflection paper consists either of a short speech or sermon where you address and offer guidance on a major ethical issue. I want to conclude this brief overview of the nuts and bolts of this Introduction to Christian Ethics course by highlighting some helpful tips that are also included in your syllabus. The secret to surviving and even thriving in a summer intensive course is planning ahead and using your time wisely. My first tip for you is clear your schedule as much as you can for these 3 weeks, so that you can get your work done for this class. And remember, having a designated time and place to review course materials and get your assignments done is also critically important. Second, get a head start if you can on the weekly readings and use your weekends wisely to ease some of the burden and pressure on yourself. Third, and maybe most importantly, find a study buddy or form a study group with other students in the course. If you look on Moodle, you'll find the email addresses and names of every student in the course. Reach out, ask someone to be your study buddy, or create an online study group. It's the time-tested way to cover lots of ground quickly. Just be sure to do your own work when it comes time to complete course assignments. Something about cheating in an ethics class just seems terribly wrong. Bewildered by uncertainty, riven by doubt, frozen by indecision, or cast down into despair, call your friendly local ethics professor. Seriously though, I may not always be able to help you or bend the rules for you, but if I don't hear from you, the chance of finding an effective solution that will help you pass this course drops to 0. And please don't wait until the last hour of the last day of the last week of class to contact me. Even Superman could only turn the world clock back 24 hours. That's it for now. I look forward to working with you over the course of the next 3 weeks. Remember to count your blessings, and I'll be talking with you soon.